100%, will it be a drastic change? Answer is yes, isn't it? And when we do
Nobel Prize thing. It stopped at Nobel Prize. Eventually.
The moment Nobel Prize is getting discussed, it's disconnected.
Yeah. Here. उसके नीचे.
Next one.
Last.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Shall I start? Is it connected?
This message also streaming stopped.
Ridiculous.
All right, so sorry for little disruption. So we're discussing that we need to make a drastic and immediate change in the.
Sorry for the interruption. You asked us to surrender electricity, no? So we surrendered our connectivity. Carry on.
So we need to switch to solar energy 100%, and that we have to do it, right now. So that will become a drastic change if we switch to solar energy and immediately. So that actually qualifies the requirement. Now I keep asking people, how many of you are using solar energy? And to my surprise, very few people raise their hand. And I ask them, how many people are eating food? And then everybody raises hand. And we cannot grow food without using solar energy. The fact that you are using rice and chawal and dal, that means that you are using solar energy. How many people are breathing all the time? Everybody is breathing. We are using oxygen, and we cannot produce oxygen without using solar energy. So your breathing means you're using solar energy. If you're drinking water, means you're using solar energy, because water cycle is not possible without use of solar energy. So let me ask once again, how many of you are using solar energy? And of course, answer is everybody is using it. It should be a great revelation in your life today that finally you realize that you're using solar energy. And a lot of people do not even aware, because we feel that only using solar panel is use of solar energy. So let us all switch to solar energy. And I did my PhD in solar, and I know how much technology is enhanced in terms of performance, and how much it has reduced in terms of cost. And we should definitely do it right away and immediately. But before we do this, we are now discussing how to do it. So before we do this, you need to follow these two fundamental laws that I have written. And these are fundamental in nature. What does it mean? It means that whether you like Professor Solanki or not, this is applicable to you, like Newton's law. Every action is a reaction. And you can't say that I hate Newton, I'm not going to follow that law, right? So fundamentally in nature, similarly, these two laws that I have given, and this is a big thing, these are laws of human existence. Humanity will not exist if you do not follow this law. I keep saying, and I would say you also, Dr. Kalaiselvi, that write it somewhere in the CSI headquarters that Professor Solanki said this, that we need to follow this. What are this law? Very simple. First law is limit your consumption. It says in an ecosystem of finite resources, there has to be finite consumption. Very simple. In fact, Gandhiji told you in a better way. He said there's enough in the world for everyone's need, not for anyone's greed. And he said that 100 years back, when there was no climate change, when there was no pollution, the rivers, everything was fine. Why did he say that? You can only satisfy your needs, not only greed, because one simple fact that everything on this planet is finite. All resources are finite. Our population can become double and triple. We cannot increase the size of the planet. We cannot increase the soil on the planet. We can't increase the minerals on the planet. Nothing can be increased. Everything is finite. Therefore, the consumption has to be finite, which we are not doing it. We are violating it every day. We are talking about increase in production and increase in consumption. That's not possible. It's very clear. And one simple analogy is when your salary is fixed, your expenses has to be fixed if you want to be sustainable. Otherwise, you'll go bankrupt. Okay. So limit your consumption. Second is localize your production. Why? Because whenever we centralize our production, it always results in unequal distribution. It's by nature. And unequal distribution will result in inequity in the world. And when there is inequity in the world, there will be lack of peace and more violence. And that's what we see happening last 3-4 decades. Science is growing, technology is growing, economy is growing. Is brotherhood also growing? No. Is the love between people growing? No. But is the violence growing? Yes. Violence is growing. Why? Because we are following the wrong economic model. So limit your consumption and localize your production. These are the fundamental to limit and sustain on this planet. If at all you want to consume water, rule number 1, limit your consumption means don't waste water, don't take bath in the bathtub, and localize means recharge locally as much as possible. If you want to consume food, which means limit your consumption means do not waste the food, and localize means use local food. If you want to wear clothes, for example, limit your consumption means don't fill your cupboards full of clothes. So much of clothes people are buying that their cupboards are so much full that many pairs of clothes keep waiting for the owner for the whole year. Mera malik mujhe kab pehnega? Number hi nahi aata. Please don't do that. Limit and localize means wear local clothes as much as possible. And one of the most dangerous thing that we use on this planet is energy. If at all you want to consume energy, rule number 1 is limit your consumption. Learn how to limit. And once you learn how to limit, then you locally produce it. That is essential for sustenance and survivability of human life on this planet. So limiting and localizing, these are the two basic laws. And that is how we should do it. Limit and localize. Everything that we consume in our life, limit and localize. That brings to the last point. What an individual can do, and I have great hopes from CSIR labs and all individuals to really take it as an individual effort to solve this problem. What an individual can do? Well, first of all, it is energy that has created the problem in this world, and it is energy which is going to solve. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to rethink and redesign the way we generate and consume energy. Rethink and redesign. And tweaking the solution is not going to work. It has not worked. So whether it is energy access, energy sustainability, climate change, energy security, everything, let us rethink and redesign the way we consume energy, following those two fundamental laws of limiting and localizing. What I have done is to make everybody's life simple. We need to switch to solar energy. There is no choice. We have to come to the center of our existence. Hindi mein kahawat hai, जहाज का पंछी रास्ता भटक जाए तो वापस जहाज पे आना पड़ता है. We the humans have lost the track and we started basing our life in something which is not infinite, coal, oil and gas. We have to come back to the center of our existence, which is solar energy. How do we do this? Is following this 3-step approach. It's called AMG, avoid, minimize, and generate approach, AMG approach. Let us look at this carefully. What is avoid? Avoid use of energy by 1/3. Avoid the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy. I'm a professor of solar energy and I'm a brand ambassador of solar energy, and people call me Solar Man of India and this. My job is to promote solar energy. But rule number 1 of using solar energy is don't use solar energy. Because there is absolutely any technology in the world which does not have environmental impact. Not possible. Anything you manufacture means has impact. I was giving example of toothbrush. When you brush your teeth, you are still having environmental impact. When you talk about solar energy, we are talking about silicon. You have to mine silicon, then you have to refine silicon to 99.99999%, and then you have to convert into silicon crystal. Silicon has melting temperature of 1480 degrees centigrade. It takes a lot of energy. Then silicon crystal has to convert it into silicon wafer. Then silicon wafer, you have to convert into solar cell. That takes a lot of energy. Then solar cell, you need to make modules. For making module, you require glass. And then you require aluminum frame. and then you have to erect the module. They require iron structure, and then you require thick cables, copper, and then you require inverter and electronics. And if you want to store energy, you require battery. And all these products by the end of life, you need to recycle. Again, you need to use a lot of chemicals and energy. So when you do all these things, it will have environmental impact. It will be less than coal electricity, but it will not be zero. It will be less, but not zero. And therefore, what is the best thing to do in life is avoid use of energy. Do nothing. I mean, it philosophically, do nothing, and I keep giving example that, everybody wants to have the love and joy and peace, right? And you get the greatest joy in life when you do a deep meditation. And what we do in deep meditation, we do nothing. So the best thing is you do nothing. By doing so many things, you created so many problems. So avoid the use of energy. How can we avoid it? There are so many examples. For example, in this room itself, there's so many lights are there. For example, can I switch 10% lights off? Will something happen to you and me? Nothing will happen. We will not even feel it. So that 10% energy is avoidable, isn't it? I have stopped ironing my clothes, and all of you can also do that. And if everybody stops ironing clothes, what will happen? Nothing. Because that will become the normal part of life, And I say, I stop ironing because these bulbs are, poor bulbs. That takes only 20, 30, 40 watt of power. Iron takes 800 watt of power, 1000 watt of power. So something that is avoidable, let us avoid that. Can we all do this? Can we fix a day in CSIR? On that particular day, if anybody comes with iron clothes, will not be allowed to enter in the campus. I mean, something like that can be done. What else can be avoided? At my home, we do not have a refrigerator. We do not have geyser. We do not have any air conditioner. It's not that I'm a poor person. I'm a professor of IIT Bombay. I can afford it. But the best thing is avoid it. And after avoiding, it's not that I have become a sad person, dukhi person. Oh my God, there's no fridge. How do I live? There's no AC. How do I live? No, it's not that. I'm living very, very happily. Even one more important thing, I keep saying jokingly that I have been married last 20 years. 20 साल हो गए मुझे ये सब करने के बावजूद भी अभी तक मुझे divorce नहीं मिला है. So nothing will happen to you also, if you stop using all these things. But why should you avoid? Because one day use of refrigerator is about 1 unit of electricity consumption. It's written on your fridge. Go and read it today. One good bath with the hot water with a geyser is 1 unit of electricity consumption. 1 hour of air conditioning is equal to 1 unit of electricity consumption. And 1 unit of electricity consumption results in approximately 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission. Because 74% electricity in India comes from coal. 74. And 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide once emitted in the atmosphere remains there for how many years? 300 years. So your comfort of 1 day of use of refrigerator is discomfort for somebody for 300 years. Your sukh of 1 good bath with the hot water is somebody's dukh for 300 years. What a disaster and what a crime that we all commit. How not to do things. Because learning how not to do requires more innovation. It requires more intelligence. Let us learn how not to do things. Let us learn how to cool the building without using any electricity. Let us learn how to make it ventilated building without using actually fans. Let us learn how to keep our food not spoiled without using refrigerator. That is where huge amount of innovation can be done, and we are just doing automation in the name of innovation. There's a great potential, and all scientists listening to me, I think, can do a lot of things. How not to do things. That should be our new mantra. So avoid energy by 1/3. If you cannot avoid, the next step. The glass. Because wires are not. There is an issue. From Saturday onwards, we have that one. All right, so we are back again. So there are very efficient appliances that are available today in the market. LEDs are a great example. You can cut down your energy needs as compared to CFL by 50%.
BLDC fans are another great example. Induction motor fans are 60 to 70 watt. BLDC fans takes only 25 to 30 watt of power. And even economically, you can do the maths and you will figure out that within 1 year it is payback. So many times when I suggest that, people say that that accounts will have a problem, but even account should have otherwise a problem. Why are you not replacing? Because more bill means more money that you are spending of the government. You should actually replace. So minimize light and fan. What else you can minimize? Well, refrigerator should be avoided, but if you cannot avoid it, minimize it. How do I minimize it? Don't buy 2 doors and 3 doors and 4 doors refrigerator. People are trying to make room inside the refrigerator. They're buying so big. And what they do, they put pickle inside the refrigerator. And I keep saying, fridge में अचार रख के खाना दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा पाप है. इससे बड़ा पाप नहीं हो सकता. How can you do this? Pickles are meant to be kept outside. But because your fridge is big, now you need to dump something, you'll put a pickle inside. Please don't do this, for God's sake. Buy smaller 100-liter fridge and buy it 5-star rated. Your energy needs will go less than half. The air conditioning should be avoided. If you cannot avoid it, minimize it. How do I minimize it? Don't make big bedrooms, big halls. Because what AC is doing, AC is cooling your roof, AC is cooling your walls, AC is cooling your floor, AC is cooling your furniture, and finally at the end of it, AC is cooling your small body of 6 feet by 2 feet. What a battamiz use of AC that we do. We cool everything else for a small body, small surface area. So please cool smaller spaces, make it small, and then use 5-star rated. Your energy needs will reduce by half. So minimize. And energy use needs minimized by half means carbon emission is getting by half. Means load on the country for importing energy is getting half. So that's a great contribution you can make if you become efficient. How much? 1/3. So 1/3 you avoid, 1/3 you minimize. As a last step, the remaining 1/3 generate. Only 1/3 you should generate ideally. And where you should generate? Locally, wherever you are. Each building should power themselves as much as possible. Of course, everywhere it is not possible. Industries and big buildings is not possible. It's okay. But most people who are living actually can afford to be decentralized and generate their own energy on themselves. That has to be the last option to generate. And that's a formula everybody should remember. I hope everybody will remember. AMG. A means avoid, M means minimize, and G means generate. How much? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Easy to remember. And so we at CSIR lab, let us target the first 1/3. It doesn't require any money. It's just awareness that is required. Now you save money from first 1/3, spend that money for second 1/3. So without spending any money, you can actually bring down your electricity bill by at least 40%. Minimum 40% all of us can do without any extra rupee invested in this. And then finally you generate locally. So follow this AMG rule. And if you're not going to follow AMG, you will have to say OMG, oh my God, solar energy is expensive. Oh my God, rooftop space is not there. Oh my God, policy is not there. Subsidy is not there. All kind of excuses will come to you if you do not actually do it properly. So let us follow AMG to avoid OMG. And when we do this, it becomes energy Swaraj. And that's the whole idea of energy Swaraj, energy independence, energy Atmanirbharta, energy local buy for, whatever you call it. Energy is a main driving force in life. Energy is a main dependency on other countries, and energy independence is the most powerful tool in today's world. If you are energy independent, you are powerful. If you are dependent on somebody else and something happens in America and your sabji bhaji ke bhav increases, something happens in Ukraine, your sabji bhaji ke bhav increases. We are so fragile because of one thread, use of energy. Let us become independent, very powerful for the country to do that. And that's why I presented this idea to IEEE, one of the global competition. We were the winner at the national level. More than 450 teams have taken part in that. We were the winner at the national level, also at the Asia level. And finally, in the global round, there were 3 teams from each continent selected and 21 teams. And we have beaten all 21 teams. And we were the global winner with a prize money of $100,000. I have donated that money and created this foundation. Energy Swaraj Foundation. Right. And the whole purpose of this foundation to establish Energy Swaraj all over the world and solve the problem. And this was launched, by the way, from Sabarmati Ashram on 150th birth anniversary that year. So we launched this Energy Swaraj Foundation from Sabarmati Ashram itself. I also believe that Energy Swaraj has to become a public movement. It is not possible for governments alone to solve this problem. Because all over the world, and when I travel across the world in 30 countries, I realize all over the world, governments are elected for a short time, 4 years or 5 years. Within 4 years and 5 years, they have limited resources and limited time. And I worked very closely with the ministries. I know how limited resources they have. So it is impossible that the government can solve the problem on their own. But because everybody is contributing to the problem, everybody must be the part of the solution. And when everybody becomes part of solution, then it becomes public movement. So when every individual start taking pride in saying that I do not have electricity connection at home with the pride, then it becomes a public movement. When people start saying that I'm not wearing iron clothes, then it becomes a public movement. When people start taking pride in saying that my building does not have electricity connection and I am leading a low energy life, that has to be the matter of pride. If somebody is using more energy is a less good a person, somebody is using less energy is a better person. If that becomes the norms of society, it will automatically become a movement. And when it will become a movement, it will solve the problem. So let us create a fashion to make low energy consumption as a fashion of modern life. I am consuming low energy. And as I said, at my home, there is no refrigerator, no geyser, no air conditioner. I stopped ironing my clothes. In fact, to create a fashion, we also decided one thing, I have 2 daughters and we have decided that whenever my daughters will get married, in their marriage function, we are only going to invite those guests who come without ironing their clothes. Anybody who comes with iron clothes will say, Namaste Kalana. Let us make that as a fashion. And I'm taking this pledge from many young generations, that when you get married, please remember this and do that and create a fashion statement that no, it is going to be like this. Then it will start to become a movement. And then only we can solve the problem because we are literally running out of time. And so therefore, adoption of energy Swaraj is the next big movement possibly we need on this planet. What we need to do is to take several actions. Its awareness is one thing. Action is very important because only by becoming aware you cannot solve the problem. So Action for Climate Correction, this is a portal that we have created and it's a beautiful, powerful portal. Lots of action we can actually do from this. And thanks to DG, already the CSR, we are collaborating with energy literacy. You see the left and bottom. I say always that energy literacy is the first step towards climate correction. If at all you want to do something for climate change, become energy literate. I've become aware where energy is coming, where it is going, how I'm using it, how I'm misusing it, how can I solve the problem, how I can reduce my energy consumption, how I can switch to solar. It's a 12 module course. Each module is only 15 minutes and it's very engaging. Many people have told me that this course is like a web series. Once you start, you cannot stop. So people have not started doing it yet, but it's very powerful. We also throw what is called CCD challenge, Climate Correction Day. So we contribute climate change every day, but we correct only on the World Environment Day. How do we create a habit of doing it every time? So every month we are going to we are already doing it, throwing a challenge that everybody can adopt. Our first challenge was wearing a non-iron clothes. 3.4 lakh people have participated. Our next challenge is on 12th April, where we are asking people to eat uncooked food. So from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening, eat uncooked food and use raw food and fruits and vegetables and some food you can adjust, soak in the water and you can eat sprouts, for example, because cooking takes energy. So uncooked food is even also healthier. So I suppose all the people in CSR lab can take this challenge. This entry for this challenge will start, I think, next week. Right now we are not taking that entry, but next week it will start. You can do that. And then we have this event called World's Largest Global Climate Clock Assembly and Display Event. Climate clock I have shown already. And what we have decided, we have developed a hardware, a very simple hardware that people can assemble themselves and make their own climate clock, install on your building. And so that everybody who is a visitor and out to the building becomes aware that clock is ticking and we need to take drastic and immediate action right now. It's very simple. Again, it's open to all and there's already more than 1,000 organizations have registered. I again invite all CSR Lab itself to become a partner in this. And what you can do is each CSR Lab can actually celebrate it as an event. It is going to take place on 22nd April, which is celebrated as Earth Day all over the world. You can invite 3, 4, 5 schools from your neighboring area, colleges. Each clock is only raw material of 6,500 rupees. So spending 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 is not a big deal. And create an event. So 5, 6 organizations come together. Our own scholars actually teach them. One clock or few clocks are assembled for CSR labs and few clocks are given to the schools and colleges. So
gift it.
they can gift it to them, and they can actually go back and install on their own building. And that is how the awareness will spread to their parents and all. So 30,000-40,000 is not a big deal. Yeah, this registration is open already. All CSR labs are invited to take part, and it will ask how many clocks you want. So you can just do that. Where to buy and all is also there. Also, people can actually become volunteers and trainers, and the same thing they can do. They can become volunteers and trainers and start taking part in this kind of activities. Energy literacy, for example, you become energy literate, you become a volunteer, and then volunteers will have their own dashboard on unique link, and that unique link can be shared with everyone. Each CSR labs will have registered. Once they register, they get their own dashboard and their own unique link. Now, CSR labs can not only do this training, energy literacy for themselves, but also invite other schools and colleges. In fact, each CSR lab can create two links, register 2 times, 1 and 2 link. Let's say CSR lab 1 and CSR lab 2. One used for your own internal people and other link used for other people, so that you have account how many people are doing through you.
Sure.
So the beautiful portal, all of you can use it, and there's a lot that can be done together. It's our social responsibility to do that. I invite all of you to join this movement. Whenever you do something to save energy or anything, you put this hashtag Energy Swaraj and Energy Swaraj movement. You can go to this websites, and I have written all this, my ideas in my experiment with solar truth, Energy Swaraj. Those who are interested can read this. At the end, I would like to summarize with everyone, and I'm not going to summarize myself. Professors are good in taking exams, so now I've created a small exam here. People can feel there is a fill in the blank. You need to fill the blank. Okay, so let's go with the first one. The first one is climate is not changing. Climate has changed already. It's already, we can all feel that it has already changed. It is not changing. It's already changed. Great. Question number 2.
I have.
Who has caused the climate change? I have done it because I am the one who is using energy, and I am the one who is using material, and therefore directly and indirectly I am causing the climate change. And question number 3, who will be the solution to the climate change? I will be the solution because I am the one who has created the problem. Therefore, I have to be the solution to the climate change, not the government, not the industry. The consumer eventually decides what's going to happen. At the end, before I thank, let me give the last number to all of you, that if we are not going to take action right now, by the end of this century, which is only 78 years from now, only 3 generations, the global warming will reach minimum 2.8 degrees centigrade as per the latest report, and up to 6 degrees centigrade. Right now, the global temperature rise only 1.19, and look at the kind of disaster that is taking place. What will happen if the global temperature rises 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees centigrade? There is already big question mark whether human life can survive or not. Maybe 80 years, 100 years, 150 years. If we can survive or not, and those who are going to survive, how many numbers? And if you are going to survive, in what shape and size? Are you going to all live in bunkers and undergrounds where air-conditioned rooms only? This is all, the big question that we can all see. And if you're not going to take an action, I keep saying that, we say, once upon a time, there were dinosaurs on this planet, and they're not there anymore. They disappeared because of the climate change. If you're going to behave in this manner only, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years later, a new species will appear on the planet, and they will say, once upon a time, there were humans on the planet.
Dinosaur version 2.0, we say.
So, oh my God, what are we talking about? But the science and data and experience suggest that actually we are heading into that direction. So let us take a strong action before it becomes too late. And before, I also discussed with the DG that why don't we create a 5-point agenda item for each CSIR labs, very simple, where everybody takes part, family members also take part. And we take pride in becoming a lead role in the solution to the climate change, which not only you can do it, but you can also help spread other organizations, because CSR labs are well respected. So you can actually easily reach out to schools and colleges, encourage them to do energy literacy, encourage them to make climate clocks, encourage them to reduce electricity consumption, and switch to solar energy as soon as possible. That's the only way out. So with this, thank you so much, Dr. Kalai Salvi. Thank you, Dr. Mahesh, and thanks to everyone. Thanks to my team from Energy Swaraj, Rahul and Sachin. Sachin has been playing a great role in making the climate clock. So thanks to everyone for making it happen, and I will be happy to take questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Chetan Solanki. Now I feel, oh my God, I have attended your lecture. Now I have no other go rather than thinking about AMG. You said AMG, then OMG. Now I'm thinking, oh my God. So I have to now follow AMG. I think it's a kind of a positive pressure that you have created, and all of us thoroughly enjoyed each and every alphabet of your talk, I should say. And the moment you started your talk, I think all of us really started thinking in a very much deeper way. And now I'm really feeling, I'm really doing a lot of sins every second. And I'm doing injustice to next 10 generations every second. I do not know which Indian penal code will have some kind of a justice against all these things. I don't know. And many times we as government servants, we were worried about only government of usage. Maybe I can only promise on my behalf. Let me try, not 100%, not 100%.
Yeah, after some occasion.
Definitely, but I'll try my level best. I'm just making it as a very, very great point. So I'll just adhere with that. And second one is you said uncooked food. I think most of the labs canteen is a problem. I think that will also solve my problem if all of us really come forward for this uncooked food. I think most of the points, I would say 99.99% of the points are very much acceptable and implementable. And therefore, as you said, we can now create two links, one for our own CSR, the other one you said that we can just give it to other school children. You may be knowing that CSR, we have a program called Jigyasa, where we connect all the school children. I think we'll be able to spread the message, but as I already told, first, is it received? Yeah. So, Professor Solanki, it is nothing but a small suggestion. I just repeat. So, if at all you want to make it as a movement, yes. Now, from CSIR, we will just take it up as one part. And please go to school children, and especially at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8. I told you already. When their mind is not having any kind of reservation for any plus and minus of their own choice, when they have no choice, at that time you should go and occupy their mind completely. So if you
It's been happening since morning.
okay. Is it received? So, Professor Solanki, on behalf of entire CSR family, million tons of thanks to you, because you said 14 lakh kilogram per second we are emitting CO2. So those many thanks I can tell you, because you are giving that kind of an awareness. And on behalf of CSR, I take this opportunity to say good luck to your efforts. I appreciate two young friends that you have along with you. I think you will also create impact in the society. And I wish each and every effort from your end to reach a great success. And whichever way CSR can really help you in this journey of giving this kind of an awareness or making it as a movement, definitely we will also help you. Thank you so very much. You made that day very, very, very